Welcome to the Family First Retirement Podcast with George Politarhos. For more information, visit betrayawealth.com. Now, let's get to the show.
Let's get to it here this weekend because let's have a conversation about maybe the overlooked aspect of retirement planning, and that's the females, the women in retirement. Yeah. They don't get the attention and the knowledge and the education that they so rightfully deserve.
You know, Mark, I've always found it shocking that so many people will come in as couples and they get divorced or they become widowed. And there's some numbers to go with that. 72% of the women listening right now and in this country are either going to be widowed, divorced, or singled in retirement. Because ladies, you get to live longer than we do as a rule, right? If we're a married couple, same age, likelihood that your husband's going to predecease you is pretty high. We usually outlive our male counterparts 6 to 8 years, give or take. That's a concern. And I find it that, you know, I have ladies that come in, they've been divorced or widowed, and they had someone they worked with. And I say, why, you know, I'm glad you're here, but what made you come in and talk with us today? See how we could help you and have our interviewing process. And says, you know, George, I went with my husband to XYZ. And our advisor, great guy, would always talk to Jim about golf, about the birds, about, you know, this or that. And he treated me like I was window dressing. When my husband died, I asked questions. He goes, well, Jim wanted it this way. Jim's plan was this. I'm not Jim. Mm-hmm. And they're exactly, how dare that sit there and treat that lady as if she doesn't matter? That's unacceptable. Now, every household's different. Let's be realistic. But in the Politarhos household, Leslie knows where every dollar goes, all the retirement funds, what allocations we have, when we're turning on Social Security, where the income will come into when we retire, what our long-term care plan is. I manage it. But we go over this, and Leslie's aware of everything we do. She knows all the passwords because it's that important. I'll be gone. I'll be sent home before Leslie does, by far. I do not want my wife to be sitting there saying, what is this? Where is this? What do we do? You're important, and women need that power. I just think, and it's really funny. I have people come in, we sit down and talk, first time coming in, husband and wife, and I tell the husband bluntly, no disrespect, we're going to work for you as a couple, but I'm more worried about your wife than I am about you, only because of the likelihood she's going to be around longer.
Yeah.
That's why when we talk, we push long-term care. I bring it up in every conversation we're going to have, folks. How come? Think about this. As a rule, most of the time, women are more compassionate and more of the caregivers than men, as a rule. I know when I get sick, Leslie is going to take care of me. I have no questions in my mind. What happens when I'm gone and she's left behind? Now, we have two great boys, Alexander and Jared, two of the fantastic young men. Leslie did a great job raising our boys. And they will always be there for their mom. But I want them to enjoy their mom, not to have to sit there and take care of her in that way. That's why long-term care is so gosh darn important, folks. If your current advisor is not talking about long-term care, not talking to you as a lady about understanding what we're doing, how we're going to move forward, maybe there's a problem. You're just as important as Jim, and you have different wants than Jim has.
Yeah.
You know, we talk all the time, Mark, that sometimes we act as marriage counselors because Jim wants to play golf 6 days a week, and the wife, Sue, wants to start traveling, start enjoying life. And it's kind of trying to find that happy balance between the two. But just because Jim's became a friend with the advisor, I'm the customer too, aren't I, as a lady?
Yeah.
Second part of this partnership, you deserve the same rights and dignity that he got. I didn't realize, and I hear it more and more, that we still live in the 1950s, where the wife is just sit there and be told what to do. I have 3 sisters. I have my wife. I have 7 sister-in-laws. I can tell you right now, those women are, if I told Leslie this is what we're going to do and not talk about it, my life's not worth it. Yeah. Because we are a partnership and we need to work together. Mm-hmm. When you call me at 302-330-2166, we're going to go over those issues. We want to make sure that we're on the right path together. And Jane, Sue, you want to come without your husband and we'll work just on your plan? Perfect. Let's get you lined up so that you're in the right place for tomorrow. That's our job at Portrayal Wealth. That's what I'm here to help you with. There are so many people that think that tomorrow doesn't come. You know, we have an anniversary coming up just past this week, didn't we, Mark?
It's kind of a sad anniversary, actually. The passing of the great passing of the great Elvis Presley. What'd you say? 49 years.
49 years. Was it August 16th, 1977? So almost 5 decades. This is out to Tom Long, of course, but out for 5 decades of Elvis being gone. I can still remember where we were. My mother was crying in the kitchen, which I didn't understand that, but that's how much they loved this man. But what did Elvis do? No, he wasn't married when he died. He had some girlfriends, but he left his wife, Priscilla, in a bind. Didn't plan for tomorrow. Left her in a financial situation that maybe if he had stepped up and planned for his wife and his daughter, things wouldn't have taken the twist in life they took for them. That's what this is about, Mark. This is about planning for tomorrow, whether you want to or not. Having your ducks in a row. Making sure you have that financial plan. Making sure the money you have is going to where you want to. Might be your ex-wife, right? 'Cause you're not married. You have a family together. Having long-term care. Having a will and trust that you don't want to think about. I get it. But it's about planning. We're here to help you get in a position that if something happens, God forbid, when that time's here, they're taken care of.
In Greek, Patreia, it means family. And one of the family members that you'll meet, that you'll also work with at the Portrayal Wealth Group, is Achilles Vargiamas. And we are honored and we are proud to have you joining us here this weekend on Family First Retirement. What exactly do you do at the Portrayal Wealth Group?
I am the wealth advisor here at Portrayal. I like to say myself a relationship manager too. So we build out customized portfolios for clients via Schwab and Fidelity. So it's my job to find what works for them, how to build it out for them, what's going to kind of cover their basis when it comes to their investments too. So that's my job. It's continuously digging into their investments, making sure that we got them in a good place and then a comfortable place for them to kind of really enjoy their retirement.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. You said the word relationship right there. So Achilles, what does that relationship, what should it look like between me, somebody who's looking to build a retirement plan, and you, the one who is building that plan?
Great question, Mark. Here's what I tell my clients, right? And here's a simple word that I tell them. I want them to feel comfortable when it comes to working with me or anyone here at Portrayal. Let's think about it. Our clients, our family members, they've worked 40 years saving money for this time. I want them to have a relationship with their manager where they're comfortable just picking up the phone and give me a call. Whether I answer or not, doesn't matter. I'm going to call them right back as soon as I can. It's one of the most sensitive topics that we have for an individual is their retirement assets, money they've squirreled away for their whole lives. If you don't have that line of communication with your advisor, to me, that's detrimental in some capacity to someone's portfolio. And the reason I say that is communication. Just like any relationship, communication's key. The more I communicate with my client, the more I understand what they actually do need when it comes to their retirement, to their assets. They might throw in some hints there. There might be a wedding coming up. There might be a new roof coming up. As a planner, as a manager of assets, knowing that I could get myself ahead of schedule and start kind of implementing strategies that's going to reflect with those down the road expenses. When it comes to just having communication with our clients, it's imperative. And I really do push it. You know me now for 5 years, Mark.
Yeah.
I love having conversations. I love digging in there. I love getting to know you better, get your culture. I want to dig in and see what makes you tick, what makes you happy. So next time I talk to you, I present myself better to you, right? To our relationship. So it's very important. And I think as a relationship manager, we have to manage that. I have some clients who don't want to speak. Right. I have a whole bunch of them who say, hey, Achilles, I trust you. We're good. If I need anything, I'll reach out to you. I'll still reach out once every 3 months just to say hello.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just to keep that going.
You can meet Achilles and the entire team when you visit PatriaWealth.com, Patria wealth.com. You can hear the passion in his voice. There's something to be said about working with somebody who lives in the economy that understands the community? Because you're not going to find that from a big box firm with locations in Atlanta, in New York, in Chicago, out in California. There's something to be said, Achilles, about understanding the families you serve and the street they live on.
Absolutely. Yeah, you said it. We support the tri-state area very well, right? We're out in the communities. We understand what, makes people in this area tick and kind of do their thing. Now, with me, a lot of my clients are not in the tri-state area. Mm-hmm. I have clients all over the country, right? In different parts of the world, let's say. So for me, it's the communication factor is even more important to those people who I don't get to see in person, who I get to see through a computer screen. I have a client in Fargo, North Dakota, lovely young lady, she's just retired, but she has no one. So now it's up to me to build that support for her, saying, hey, I'm here. I might be 2,000-3,000 miles away, but guess what? I'm here for you.
Right.
You know what? If there's a day where you have to complain and something's bothering you, you can let me know, right? I'll find some time and make that happen too. So it's very important, especially in our area.
Hey, real quick, what is on the mind on the families you serve right now? As we're it's weird to say this, we're getting into the back half of the year. So are you starting to do some of that end of year planning? I know that sounds so weird to say, but I know you're always thinking about taxes. I know the market's had some historic highs, but it's always volatile. What are you hearing from the families you serve?
I'll tell you what, right now, a lot of people are kind of nervous or kind of in that period of not understanding what's going on when it comes to the markets.
Yeah.
Right? You said there's a lot of volatility there. To me, right now, what we're communicating with my clients, family members is, hey, there is volatility. Here's what we need to expect. Here's what we've done as money managers to combat that volatility. So it's just making sure that they understand where we're at. I mean, yes, we've seen the markets go up. The markets are moving up, not in the way that we've seen before, where there's a lot of volatility. There's a war. So just communicating all that information, communicating, what's in their portfolio, what's working, what we've done. So it's just kind of in the meats and potatoes right now. Any time in volatility and stress, it's where really you have to kind of get in there and understand what we're doing in a time like this, right?
Yeah.
And all we want is for those family members that we serve, for them to say, hey, guess what? We're in good hands. We've got strategies in place. We're not just sitting there doing nothing. And we got this crazy guy who always likes to talk to us too. So he seems like a good guy too. So it's all good. So that's just the conversations that we're having. Start of the year, school, a lot of maybe some 529 accounts with kids going to college. So there's those conversations, those typical time of year conversation.
Hey, real quick, as you're talking about kids in 529, I just want to get your take, and I didn't prepare you for this at all, but I want to get your take on the Trump accounts. Some people think they're a great opportunity to help build some income, teach some kids about some financial responsibility. Some people are a little gun shy about taking advantage of it. What's your take, Achilles?
Listen, to those who are gun shy, I would say, hey, these are assets that are going to help you learn or your kids learn how the financial markets work.
Yeah.
It's crazy, having an account early on in a kid's life, how that could compound over the years and what that number really could be, when they go to college or when they're ready to buy a house. It might give them some energy to say, hey, contribute more themselves and put some type of strategy. One of the biggest components that we don't see in people's portfolios is that self-management piece where they've kind of taken it on their own and started putting money aside, right? We don't see that. I'll speak for some of the Greek community. They squirrel money underneath their bed. What good does that do, right?
Yeah.
It's close to you. You have it, but it's not doing anything for you now or in the long run. So it's just opening the eyes to those who maybe didn't have those opportunities to invest, to have an investment vehicle and just to see how it grows, how it compounds, how we could add more assets. I just think it's tremendous. I mean, the $1,000 is free. That's great. I mean, that's awesome. It's a lot of money. But I think the value in that is more than just the money value. It's more of how it grows. And you look at schools, a lot of schools, I'm not going to speak for all the schools, like, high schools, middle schools, they don't really teach financial literacy.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a hands-on example for everyone, just to get a head start. So I think it's tremendous, and I think everyone should take advantage of it.
Yeah, and you know what? I think some people who, may not be a fan of the current administration, should understand this is a great opportunity. And if you call the Portrayal Wealth Group and you want some information, you don't have to call it the Trump account if you don't want to. You can call it the grandbaby Drew account. You can call it my daughter Sarah's account. So whatever you want to call it, it is worth having the conversation because, as Achilles just mentioned, good opportunity to start some financial education. And as he said, it is just money being given to you that can be built upon for the kids and for the grandkids. So to get more information, 302-330-2166. Again, 302-330-2166. That initial consultation, no cost, no obligation from the team at the Portrayal Wealth Group. Achilles Varjamas, as always, part of the great team here at the Portrayal Wealth Group. And, you know, George, you do surround yourself with great people. We just talked to Achilles. Talk to me a little bit about Jared, what Jared does at the Portrayal Wealth Group, other than the incredible work he does on your social media.
Jared handles everything for the company, to be quite honest. You know, we talked earlier that Leslie's the boss at home by far. I just kind of like, grumble. I'm the president and owner of Portrayal Wealth. I am not the boss.
Yeah.
Jared handles everything in the back office, runs the company per se, Mark, to be quite honest with you. Getting policies out to clients, saying those appointments up for deliveries, handling the will and trust, making sure that all the clients are up to date on everything they need to know, where we're at, how things are going for them, just so they're abreast of where. When you call in, you're going to talk to Jared, more than likely. So he does everything. Outstanding job. Just getting done. Pretty fun. We have the golf outing coming up this weekend. Right? We have a couple spots left open. And Jared just got off his scooter, which is nice. He had some foot surgery, and we're calling Hot Wheels as he zoomed around the office. But he's back walking with a walking boot.
Wait, is that?
You'll be able to see him on Monday.
Is that his excuse so he doesn't have to play golf on Monday?
Oh, we talk about that you don't have to be a golfer to play.
Yeah.
You go out there and just want to have fun.
Yeah.
Jared is not a golfer. But we all have our ways of helping and building to support such a great cause as Bets for Vets. And Jared's is really organization and handling all the back office, even at the event. Jared
does such a good job with your social media. So we invite you to give the team a follow, especially on Facebook. He's putting new content up there almost every single day. Short videos from George.
The YouTube channel, LinkedIn, the whole 9 yards he handles unbelievably.
Yeah, I say it all the time. Yep. Every small business needs a millennial on their staff that can handle the digital aspect of everything.
Folks, we are all the same age group, right?
Yeah.
So we understand how this works.
Yes, sir.
We're doing technology, and I have a question. I'm like, how in the heck? And I try and search for it and get an answer. I call him up like, Jared, why is this not working? How do I do this? And he comes in on the scooter with his, his club foot as he banging it on the counter, walks in, and he just takes it and moves his hands over this. He's like, here you go. I'm like, what the heck was that? I don't know what you just did. I'm going to call you back tomorrow and say, Jared, this is how you're going to come back with the same stomping of the foot as you're upset because I can't remember. You need them. And I'm lucky. We have our interns in here.
Oh, very good.
We have Lee. We have George. We have other George that's here. We have Tiffany, who is that age group. And I can always sit there and say, listen, just do me a favor. Just come in. Don't say anything to Jared. Just I have to talk to you about something. How in the, and they're like, oh, they're so kind. Like, oh, George, see, first you touch Control Alt this. I'm like, great, thank you. Can you write me up a little notes? We all need millennials. Millennials. Whatever they are. Young people.
They put Post-it notes all over George's computer to kind of help him out along the way. The guidance.
I can barely see Mark on the screen right now.
There's too many Post-it notes. All I can see is my eyes. That's pretty much it. But see, that's what it's all about. It is a team from the millennials to George Politarhos to Achilles. Ernie, we didn't even talk about Ernie, the in-house CPA, always thinking about your taxes. Leslie, Angie, the entire team. They live here. They work here. They understand the community. And we invite you to meet them at portrayalwealth.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through George A. Politarhos, Delaware Insurance License Number 1373121. Annuity guarantees rely on the financial strength and claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. Read your contract for restrictions, limitations, or penalties.